Hey man, what it is? This is Deem, and I am your host, and this is By Any Means. There go to PayPal at Deem by any means. There go to Cash App, $ Deem by any means. Y'all know I love boxing, y'all. Y'all know I love it. Y'all know I love it. I love it. I love it. And because I love it, I have to make this video. Y'all probably seen a video I did that got a very, very good reception. About the next two superstars in boxing. Well, I want to make a video talked about the two fighters that boxing is afraid of. Boxing is afraid of David Morrell Jr. and Jaronennis, and I'm gonna tell you why. You got people. I've never seen two fighters that people have every excuse why people shouldn't fight them. And guess what? It's not because of their talent. Have y'all ever seen two fighters that people refuse to want to fight, but will willingly admit that they probably two of the top five most talented fighters currently in boxing? How can you say you love boxing and you don't want to see them? How can you say you love boxing and you're not clamoring for them? How can you say you love boxing and you're not bringing their name up every chance you get? Terrence Crawford is at a standstill about people he can fight, won't fight, blah, blah, blah. What has been reported is that Terrence Crawford is a free agent and can go anywhere that he wants to go. But my question is to you, Terrence, why wouldn't you rather fight Jaron over Jamel? Jamel name not popping out here right now, not after that Canelo fight and not after his legal issues. Tim Tszyu is fighting Keith Thurman right now, and Tim Tszyu is not a bigger name than Jaron Ennis in the boxing world. You will not get more credit for fighting anybody than Jaron Ennis. Even more, you will get more credit for fighting Jaron Ennis than you'll get for fighting Earl Spence in a rematch, and that is facts. That is facts. Do y'all understand me? And the part that saddens me, because everybody that hears my voice know how talented Jaron Ennis is. Philly in the building. Philly and Chester is in the building. 215 to the 610. You want whoa, you better have 100 shots and more. Straight up. So the fact that we know these young men are dedicated to the sport, are the two of the most top five most talented fighters we have in the whole sport. We talking about just talent. David Benavidez is getting ducked by Canelo Alvarez. I agree. David Benavidez is also not even entertaining David Morrell. And that is the problem. David Benavidez, let me talk to you, man. I understand your fight at 175 and trying to become the mandatory. I am not mad at that because I see your play. You are trying to become the mandatory at the 175 division and the mandatory at the 168 division. I get that, big dog. But can you do me a favor before you make that fight? If you know that you're not going to get Canelo, can you fight David Morrell because he actually deserves that fight? And it will boost your profile. Why? Because you're the same age. Why? Because the whole boxing community knows who David Morrell is. Why? Because David Morrell was the headliner of the last Showtime pay-per-view event ever. Or I ain't even gonna say pay-per-view, but just the last Showtime event that they had. David Morrell has already a champion. And you got people that's trying to skip over him to become the mandatory to fight Canelo Saul Alvarez. And we're going to just sit back and let it happen. Berlanga does not deserve a fight with Canelo Alvarez over David Morrell Jr. If David Benavidez don't deserve it, okay. You don't want to give it to David Benavidez. You scared of him. You can't put Edward Berlanga over David Morrell Jr., though. You can't put Jaime Manguilla over David Morrell Jr. He'll kill both of them. David Morrell Jr. would demolish both of those men. And everybody in boxing knows it. Everybody in boxing. I don't know one person in boxing that'll pick Jaime Manguilla or Edward Berlanga to beat David Morrell Jr. So you adopt twice, Canelo, because not only is you not going to go for the best competition, David Benavidez, that is well earned, that I might add, but you're not even going to go for the second best competition in the whole division. If David Morrell Jr. got announced versus Jamal Charlo right now, I guarantee you in Vegas, David Morrell Jr. will be the favorite. Guaranteed. And the reason why I always bring that up about who would be the favorite in Vegas, because then y'all will sit up there and say people are fanboys, don't know boxing. Well, if I don't know boxing, Vegas don't know it neither. I can't be tripping that hard. The same way y'all talk about Frank Martin. If Frank Martin got announced versus George Kambosos, he'd be the favorite. If Frank Martin got announced versus JoJo Diaz, he'd be the favorite. If Frank Martin got announced versus Maxie Hughes right now, he'd be the favorite. If Frank Martin got announced right now versus Pitbull Cruz, he'd be the favorite. I'm just telling y'all the truth, man. Jaronennis deserves that shot. Jaronennis deserves to be the king at 147. Jaronennis is one of the best, smartest, talented, full package boxers that we have. Shout out to my city, Philadelphia. Y'all already know what it is. How long are we going to continue to sit here and let guys like Jaronennis, David Morrell, Xander Zayas be ignored? Raymond Matala, Abdullah Mason. How long is we going to continue to let these things happen in boxing, a sport that y'all claim y'all love? If you love the sport, give these young men the opportunity. David Morrell deserves to be on that big stage. Everybody knows what he's built like. Jaronennis deserves to be on that big stage. People got him on a pound for pound list, and people act like Jaronennis is just chopped liver. But not skill-wise, though. They don't say that part. When I sit up here and say David Morrell and Jaronennis is top 5 most talented boxers in boxing, and when you sit back listening to me right now and be like, yeah, they are, then that lets you know that you need to be pushing for them more. That lets you know that Terrence Crawford need to be fighting them. Earl Smiths need to be fighting. I don't give a damn who it is. Jaronennis, I don't care if they tell Jaronennis he got to come to win at 154 to fight them. Jaronennis is bigger than all of them anyway. But what I will not sit back and do, I hear the Devin Haney stuff. Devin Haney talking about going to 147 and fighting Mario Barrios, but not fighting Jaronennis. It's mighty funny how everybody in boxing can call out everybody but these two young men. Have you heard a boxer yet call out these two young men? It's not like they don't know they exist. It's not like they don't know who they are. They know who they are. Everybody knows who they are. David Benavidez would rather go up to 175 and stay there than fight David Morrell. That's how dangerous he is. David Morrell be, if Canelo Alvarez fought David Morrell right now in Vegas, David Morrell would be the underdog. And I guarantee you, people who know, you will have the gamblers changing the line on that fast. Because I guarantee you, there will be billionaires that will put millions on David Morrell to beat Canelo Alvarez. Absolutely. Same thing with Jaronennis and Terrence Crawford. Same exact thing. Even though Terrence Crawford, I think, could be even a bigger favorite. But I guarantee you, the people that know, oh, they putting that change down. And we ain't talking about no little bit of bread. I guarantee you, if Canelo Alvarez got announced versus David Morrell Jr., you'll have Drake putting money down on David Morrell Jr. Because smart people do smart things. People who know. And if you love boxing the way I do, and you do not know these two people's names, if you're watching this video saying I'm tripping, I know that you have no idea. You have no idea whatsoever about boxing, about the sport that we love. And I just want the guys that should be superstars, should be pay-per-view attractions, should be getting their name talked about all the time, actually getting that notoriety. I hope you will want the same thing. Y'all know what this is, man. Deem by any means. There go to PayPal at Deem by any means. There go to Cash App. $ Deem by any means. Y'all know what this is, man. Shout out to Philly. Shout out to Chester, man. We in the building. Jaronennis, what's the deal, Brody? I just wish you much success. I hope you get your opportunities. David Morrell Jr. And I promise you, my guy, we here in America, they trying to act like they're trying to suppress your popularity. But I promise you, man, when you get on that big stage and everything, you're gonna go through the roof. And Gervonta Davis, I hope you bring David Morrell on and jaronennis on this undercard with you and Frank Martin. That's just something that I'm asking for. Y'all already know what this is. Deem by any means.